Hey, ladies and gents, there we go. I think we got her up and running. We are going to be working on destroying a faction. So now you've probably seen this is an insane level game. I'm just screwing around here because it's Sunday, and we are going to try to see if we can wipe out this red faction down here inside the barrier. We have 4 ships, we have a salvage ship, we have a mothership, and we have a freighter with us. So this is going to be interesting. There's a lot of stuff to kill. We are simply going in. We're going to destroy the stations, and we're going to salvage the stations. We're not going to do anything other than that. We're going to see if we can wipe out this entire faction. Now we've had before when you destroyed a faction, they don't really ever go away. Essentially, they just you know stay put. So as soon as we load in here, I hope. And if you guys are, all right, so we're in here. We have everybody coming in with us. We are going to start working on this faction here. Now, for the most part, this should be relatively easy. These guys are not much when it comes to the actual fight here. And we're going to blow everybody up. And we're also going to take all the stations as much as possible. So now these are some older, this is an older game, so you'll see some very strange looking stations if you're not familiar with the old style. The stations are far more squarish. Yeah, so we've knocked those guys out. So we have one station here, which is one of those really super big stations. We're going to let's see what we got here. These resistance outposts usually have a fair amount of Avorion in them. We've already knocked that stuff out here, so let's bring in those 2 ships. Oh, I bet one of those ships don't have a core on them. As soon as we do this, I guess. And if you guys are sitting at home and you guys got nothing going on, if you want to jump in, and we could definitely chat as we're doing this. I'm kind of multitasking here as much as possible. So we have 42, 41 kilometers. Like I said, that's one of those super long. That's got to be a 50-kilometer station right there. In fact, I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, those two don't have. I don't know why that does not have. Oh, I know why. I switched the design on it. It does not have a. It does not have a hyperspace core on it. Where's my hyperspace cores? I only need a small one. Alright, let's jump into there now. Oh, I don't need to go there, I need to go there. So we're going to jump in and we're going to start demolishing stations, capturing stations, all that kind of stuff here. So we jumped in. Yeah. I'm kind of revamping this old game for later videos for end game stuff, because this is a really end game. I mean, I don't get much more end game than this on insane level. But redoing stations, redoing the economy, because the economy changed. So most of my stuff in this game is not working right because there was no supply and demand when I was first playing this game here. So we're gonna have to, like I said, do a little revamp. I'm going to tell that guy to start salvaging. He's our salvage carrier. And there's a bunch of stuff here to salvage. And we're going to go take that station. So I should have almost 12,000 boarders. So we should be able to take a bunch of these stations right off the bat. We should make a pretty good haul too on this. I'm kind of curious exactly how much that station is going to take. I'm guessing somewhere in the vicinity of 1,200 boarders probably. That's a big station. I won't be able to do this all in one show or all in one sitting. We're going to take a while because there's I've only touched part of this faction, so it's going to take quite a bit of time to destroy. You know what? Let's drop a suppressor too, because I don't want to deal with anybody when I'm doing this fight. I don't want any pirates jumping in constantly. Alright, how big a station do we got here? This is worth even screwing with. It's interesting. Hey, look at that. Alright, so let's get it down to 30% or so. Alright, so that's under 30%. Here comes our characters. It's a destroyer. Guys, open for some dreadnoughts. So what is that going to take to board? I'm guessing it's going to be 1,200 plus to take that station. I'm almost kind of curious if it's worth it too. 700 to 1,000. So that ain't too bad. And honestly, there's nothing on it. It's not showing me anything. So I'm kind of guessing that we're just going to blow this. Yeah, this one's not worth taking. There's nothing on it. There we go. Alright, so once again it does some weird crap and blows the entire station. So there's not even anything to salvage. Oh, that sucks. Alright, we're going to tell these guys to stay here. We're going to go to the next yeah, we're just going to tell them to stay here. And we're going to pick out the next place to go, which will be, let's go to there. do believe, yes, I think everything's working here. Alright, so let's get into our next fight. It's going to be that right there. What do we got? Trading post. It's got some pretty good sized should say some fair amount of shields. So 67 million hull left. Alright, here comes our baddies. Oh, it's all Avorion too. So we've taken that. Oh, here comes our 10 ships. Let's blow these guys up. I think I'm just going to bring my salvager right straight to this thing and see how much Avorion I can get out of it. Those guys are dead. This station should be ready to board. Alright, where are you guys at? There we go. Alright. So let's drop on here. I'm pretty sure there is going to be a fair amount of stuff here. Yeah, I'm just going to simply just take whatever loot's on it, and then I'm going to destroy the station, and then I'm just going to salvage it. I'm guessing this is going to be not a long project, but I've destroyed it one other time, so 1700 to 2100 borders. Alright. So I got 12,000 borders. Let's take the station. Doesn't look like it's going to be much of a... Looks like glass, books, and steel. But we'll see what we get out of the deal. So everybody's Sunday going good today. My wife is at a birthday party with the kids, so be a nice easy day of video gaming. Kind of curious, did that other guy come? He's boarding. We're gonna go and start working on a different one. We got... Alright, there she is. salvage everything. We're gonna go blow up. Since there's nothing at the resource depot that's worth a crap. Looks like it's, what is it made out of? Looks like possibly Avorion. I'm sorry, not trading post, yeah, there it is. Let's run over there and see if we can blow it up quick. Alright, so that looks like it's made out of trinium, which shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, she's a trinium post. So we should get some, looks like some decent salvage out of that. And that fight looks like it's still going on. But I'm guessing, I've understand from some of the patch notes is that there's actually, you know, once you destroy a faction, now he's destroyed. Before, you used to be able to, for example, the faction I destroyed was way out here. There was a faction right in here, and I went around, all the way around here. I'm actually in the middle of the faction. I destroyed the whole faction, but once I got done destroying it, there was no more factories or none of that kind of stuff. However, there was ships kept respawning, and of course the same way with the at the time headhunters. So the faction was destroyed, like all the factories and everything was destroyed, but the ship or the faction itself kept launching ships and freighters and all that kind of stuff. You can still find the freighters and everything running around, even though no matter how many blew up. So as soon as this is done, we're going to run in there and grab our stuff, and then we're going to blow this station. I'm guessing there's probably going to be, from the original hull numbers, I'm guessing there's probably going to be about 4 to 5 million Avorion in this station. I hope. I always like Avorion, especially as much as I can get. What's up, Bloody? How are you doing? Playing this fine Sunday afternoon. Alright, so we should be just about through. We got 83 commanders. I wonder if that took all my borders. No, I still have 5,000 borders on board. 1134 crew members. We're gonna mix up another batch here. Same way with more borders. So I have a really large academy where I can produce like 20,000 borders at a time. So that one's actually, we're building more borders too. So, but with using this mothership, I should be able to keep up with the number of borders it takes to keep taking these stations. Alright, so it looks like Helga has finished off all of the ships here. Alright, let's put her in passive, and we're going to wait till we get this station blown, and then they can hopefully salvage this whole thing. You only have so much time from the time you take a station until it turns into yours, and then you can't really blow it up. Still losing borders. Yeah, it's a fair sized ship. This is actually not the biggest one I have. This is just the mothership here, but yeah, typically I think the biggest one I have here in this group is that one. No, I think it's actually the salvage ship I'm holding. That salvage ship I think has 500,000 cargo, so it should be able to pick up quite a bit of the quite a big large chunk of the salvage out of here. So apparently this battle is going on quite a bit. 79 commanders, still got a ways to go. So yeah, I think this is the biggest one that I have here. Size-wise. 5,441 meters, something like that. I wonder how much salvage did I pick up already. About 419,000. So yeah, we got a long ways to go here for salvage. So I'm hoping that thing right there is going to be a fair amount of Avorion salvage. Yeah, I'm not even sure how long this one is. This one's only 3,000 meters. Apparently they're pretty tough there in that station. The commanders are. Can you guys hear me okay? It's been a while since I streamed and I was making sure my software was up working right. I'm assuming it is. Nobody's complained yet, right? Right? Apparently that is a really tough station because we're at 70. Oh, there we go. We finally killed another commander. And we have that shipyard over there. So while we're waiting for this to continue here, let's go over and look at the shipyard. See, that doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. Or, I'm sorry, a repair dock. It's a pretty small one. Yeah, it's really small. We're not going to be able to do that with what I got here, so let's put that at 1. Put everything at 2, so we only have 1 turn firing. Oh, maybe a little bit more than that. Let's put you at 1. Alright. A little bit more firepower. There we go. We'll get this one prepared so we can turn all the weapons on. Turn off the main firepower. We need to get her down to under 30%. So that one should be ready to go as soon as we get done boarding this one. How much is left on this one yet? 38 commanders. Oof. It's been one hell of a fight. It said there was 10,000 boarders. I think that got dropped on that station. They're still kicking my ass. Now, I've noticed, so this is on Insane, of course these stations are larger. In fact, the largest station I've ever found was 100 million hull and about 100, well, not, I think it was like 50 million shields. So yeah, the Insane level, the stations in the center of the galaxy can be quite a bit bigger than anything you're going to find on the outside. Okay, thanks for telling me, guys. I didn't, like I said, I was having a little trouble with my OBS software. And since this is an older, since this is, like I said, this is an older game, that's why you see the older style stations. These are the old blocky stations that used to be. Um, but since that thing's made out of almost all Avorion, so I should get a pretty good haul out of this deal. Granted, at this point, this game isn't really much of a challenge. Obviously, with the challenge, I mean, we're taking, this ship is sitting at 2.02 million Omicron, and yeah, it's ridiculous with the turns you can get on insane level, tech level 52s. However, I'm still going to use this in videos just because it's with the amount of material that I have and the amount of money I have, it's just a lot easier to do. This is also the one I do all my testing on, essentially, like the news, the change in the Guardian, the IDHTX, whatever that one is, the new Pariah, and then when I'm going to do essentially the new AI, whatever he's called, the one that's got 100+ million shields and all that kind of stuff. I do that stuff on this one. It's just easier to build things and not have to, start from scratch type crap. So what's Chi Town and Jane Man up to? You guys having a good Sunday? Alright, 9 commanders left. Oh, you know what? I bet I didn't drop a. I bet I did not drop a. Energy suppressor satellite. To move all that stuff over later. 4 commanders. I still have generals and everything yet to go through. And considering there was like 5,000 level 3 borders, this was a tough station. And what looking at glass books and steels, what it's showing me inside the station. So this was definitely not worth the time and effort. But as a trading post, you never know. Those are only 3 that are showing, so there might end up being a bunch of mining robots, depending on what the station carries here. 26 generals. You know what? I'm gonna jump while this fight's going on here. I'm gonna jump to the next location. Kind of scout it out, see what I got going on here. Make sure everybody goes passive. Yeah, let's jump to the next sector and see what we can have. What we're going to be, maybe clear it out before we bring more ships this way. I mean, you can obviously do all this stuff with one ship. It's just easier. A lot of times you can stay ahead of the game. Like if they're salvaging and boarding and all that kind of stuff, you can get to the next part and see what you have. I'm kind of curious exactly how big this faction's going to be. Nanobot, Silicon. Yeah, so there's still a fair amount of it. He should be all in this area. I've just brushed him here, essentially. And there's really not much. Not much stuff in this one. Let's get around outside and see what happens. Turmoil. So I should get the jump in of 10. Oh, I don't even have all the firepower on. I was wondering why it was taking so long to kill these guys. That one's a silicon mine and a nanobot factory. Alright, there's they all are. So we're gonna blow all these stations. Thought about maybe just completely and utterly boarding every one of them, but I don't know if they're gonna be worth the time or effort. So what is that? That's just a destroyer. I'm really looking for the I've had a lot of luck with the dreadnoughts. Occasionally these factions spawn dreadnoughts. You get the special bonus ships out of them. These all have the immunity to certain things. Must be immune to railguns. He's got a lot of HP on him, doesn't he? And one more. Resistance to electric. Okay, so I guess I never even looked at their design. They got kind of a funky looking design to them. Alright, so this will be our next area we're going to go. Let's go back and see if they got that boarded or not. Do I ever use any of the mods? No, I don't, Matthew, I don't. It's a rainy day in Chi-Town. Yeah, it's kind of stormy here today too. It's got super humid out, so I don't know what's going to go on. No, I don't use mods, Matthew. I'm a vanilla player. I've always played vanilla. In every game I play, I always play vanilla. I don't have a problem with mods, but I'm also one of those people that are not really technically computer savvy on some situations, so I try to play with the least amount of maybe problems I'm going to have, because mods do cause problems in the game. So we're at 19 generals. Oof. There better be a crap ton of stuff on that station. Otherwise, this is not going to be worth it. 17 generals. Alright, so that's going to be a longer fight yet. So we're just going to keep... Essentially, we're just going to keep on clearing the path for this little expedition here of beating these guys. Because I'm, like I said, literally going to just salvage, destroy all the stations, everything in this faction. It's going to take me a while. I just thought I would, a Sunday stream, everybody's been watching these videos, and let's do something a little different other than what I was doing in the other game. Which reminds me, I'm not sure if anybody really did this, if anybody's interested in going for another, different faction. That's interesting. It's the democratic planet of what? Where did you guys come from? They're up from up here. Interesting. I think these guys are the same. Nope, that's the church. Alright, so apparently we need to go south. So it's kind of interesting, these older games, as long as the original stuff, like the original sectors I've been in before, had the old designs and all that kind of stuff, so, but everything that I run into, that go new into, have the newer designed ships and stations. Alright, that's interesting. Let's jump to the next one. Because in this game, the older style factions all stayed in a, so this is just one whole faction right here. The newer versions of this is that there'll be, you know, a grouping here, then there'll be a space, and then there's another grouping, and there might be another grouping down here. The factions are a lot bigger. So in the older style, the older game, there was a lot more, the factions were, there were more factions, but they weren't as big. So the newer ones is that they're bigger factions, but there's less of them. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. So playing these older games that still have some of the old stuff and the new stuff, since it's procedural generated, there's always this going on here. Ooh, it's a dreadnought. Now I'm intrigued. What is that one? Ooh, 2 dreadnoughts. Alright, we're gonna take these guys. Because, you know, after doing that last, I'm kind of curious what they have for firepower. About those bonus ships, I'm kind of curious if they'll spawn here in these old games. What does he have for firepower? 4.2 Omicron. Yeah, no, we need something with far more than that. Usually they have ridiculous amount of firepower for their size. Or at least that's what I've noticed. 4.24, nope. So they're dreadnoughts, but they're not the newer style dreadnoughts. Interesting. So is there anything else here down with green? Huh. I'm wondering if he's not down in here somewhere. Which one's this? It's a destroyer. I bet that has, if you look at the number of the whole shields, he's got 2.12 million and 1.8 million. Huh. He might be worth it, because you notice the odd numbers, right? So he's got 65k Omicron, and he's got ungodly amount of, there's another one, 2.84 million. These guys are probably these bonus ships. I'm going to see if I can take this, because this has also got a military outpost here. We're going to, yeah, so this one is going to be, we're coming back to this one. We're going to take those, because like I said, I'm really interested in seeing more of these bonus ships, and see what we can get out of them. Still 23 seconds. So yeah, telling by their size, a ship like that should not have 1.77 million hull. Even if it's made out of completely out of Avorion. This ship I'm flying right here is only got 3.5 million. But that ship is not even close to the same size as I am. So those are probably those bonus, you know, we talked about in the last video, those bonus ships, where we're getting the bonus from the original build. We were talking about this other night in the chat about that. Most likely this was encoded in, so it's not a block. It's probably encoded from the original, in the original game, or from, you know, they essentially what they're doing is they're making these ships small enough. They're small, but they have above and beyond shields and hull points for their size, plus their firepower. So they're giving them essentially multipliers. 10 generals? I only killed 7 while I was gone? Wow. That's crazy. 9 generals. That was a big fight though. Was it something like several thousand? So we're going to go to that one next. And high capacity lenses, semiconductors. I'm kind of curious. I'm not seeing anything else down this way for that faction. Now, if you're playing on, you yourself are playing on the, and playing in the center, and you're looking for places that get massive amounts of Avorion, especially from Rex. These places, they call these a resistance outpost, or not smugglers' dens, resistance outposts. Usually, half the time those resistance outposts are made out of Avorion. As long as they're within that 70 from the center, most of the time. So, but it also depends if you want to be friends with those guys or not. But the resistance outposts themselves are usually made out of Avorion. A lot of the time they are. So it's always something to remember if you're looking for large chunks of Avorion. For some reason, the resistant outposts have those. All right, so let's go up here. Let's get our stuff off here so we can blow this popsicle stand. Let's transfer all that stuff. Alright, I didn't get all of it. But you know what? I'm not going to screw around, because if you screw around on this thing for too long, you can't blow it. So, but I would really want that Avorion. So we're going to probably... There we go. As soon as I figure out how to get into my own ship. Come on, we gotta get this. Actually, I think I'm screwed. I don't think I'm gonna be able to blow it. Nope. Darn it. It reaches a point where you can't. If you don't blow the station right away, it'll do one of these things where you cannot blow the station up yourself. So what do we got here? Let's go to the build here. Oh, I should have just blown it right away and just took the stuff off of it. Or I shouldn't have even took the stuff off of it. I should have just blown it and salvaged it. Because now I can't do anything with it other than just destroying it. I don't have any interest in the station, so we're going to delete it. And I'm only going to make 200,000 Avorion out of that deal. Where that station itself was probably worth, if I would have blown it right away and not screwed around trying to board it, I probably would have ended up with 2 or 3 million Avorion, if not more. Alright, so it was kind of a waste of time. Alright, so let's roll to the... There's some stuff loot dropped here. And we're going to use our freighter to pick up what's fell out of the cargo. We'll just actually leave it parked here. It'll eventually suck it up. I'm sure there's probably some sort of... Yeah, it's not. I probably have to wait a minute or two before it'll let me pick it up. We'll just leave it here while we go and take those. What do I have this set on? Pick up stolen goods. Yeah, it should be pick up everything. Yeah, so we're gonna jump to that other fight, and we're gonna take those 2 cruisers out, or destroyers, or whatever they are. See what we can see if we can get some bonuses out of it. All right, so we're bringing this guy with us. Escort me, and we're gonna drop. Yeah, we're gonna go there, pick up our bonus ships, and then we're probably gonna take that station. I should be just going, well, you know, I only want Avorion, so every Avorion station I run into, I should just destroy, and not screw around with the whole thing. Are certain blocks higher HP? Yeah, armor blocks. Armor blocks are your highest HP in the game. Avorion has the highest HP per size, and it doesn't produce armor. So Ogonite armor would be the one that has the most. You get 4 times the HP out of the same size block using armor. However, it's super heavy. So let's turn that off. Alright, Alright, so one more shot. Alright, so he's down 2. What was he at? 37. So he's at 10. Alright, so now they're both... Oh, he's gonna run, maybe. Alright. I'm kind of curious. Like I said, since this is an older game, I was wondering if we're gonna pick up the bonuses yet on these ships as well. Alright, let's roll a little closer to him. What am I sitting for? Shields, 70%. They look like the same ship, pretty much. Chi-Town, when boarding and claiming an asteroid base, I did not repair the stone when I hit the repair option. Did I do something wrong, or is that how the game works? I'm not... Boarding and claiming an asteroid base, I did not repair the stone. You're talking about the actual stone? I'm assuming what you're talking about is right. This is the stone of the asteroid. If you hit the repair button, it depends on how. If you know you have that. If it's been damaged, it takes like 30 seconds before you're allowed to repair everything. But if that wasn't the case, I don't know. I've never had that problem. Usually, when you hit the repair button, it goes immediately repairs the repairs the ship if it can. Of course, unless it's if it's a captured station, then no, it won't repair. Well, yeah, it should repair. You can't, yeah, it should repair, no matter what. Alright, so let's look at this bugger. Interesting design. Chi-Town, if you got a chance, if you could jump in and show me sometime. You never know with this game, but if you have a chance, jump in and show. If you have my Discord, jump in and just show me on your, because there's a stream where I can see what you're doing in your game. Just jump in and show me what's the problem is. It's a lot easier for me to see. Maybe that's the better answer to this. Alright, so that's at 6 plus 6. Shields that are 711,000. And it's showing... $1.86. So this does have the multiplier. Same with the firepower. So we're just going to leave these two here. I think I'm going to collect these guys later when I get done with this. However, we got a fight to go to. We're going to go finish off that guy right there. if of course it's made out of Avorion, we're just gonna destroy it and then salvage it. But we're gonna leave those guys there. See what the station looks like. It's made out of Avorion, just by the color of the panels. Nope, I'm sorry, it's Xanian. You know what? We're gonna. How much is I have 62 million Xanian. Yeah, let's just blow it up here, and we'll take the we'll have it salvaged. Oops, where's my other guys at? Right there. These big stations are so nice if you're low on materials. There's so much material in these stations. Oh, I better turn on all my firepower. There we go. It looks like it's mostly, actually looks like a big chunk of Oganite too. Orders, salvage that. And there's the Maru. We're gonna go collect all of our booty. There's my salvage fighters running in. I'm guessing I'm gonna get probably 3, maybe 4 million Xanian out of that. But actually probably more than that, because those are almost 100% efficiency salvage fighters. And that's a big station. You look at all the great big blocks of high-end materials. Might have been worth boarding, but the more I think about it, you get some weird stuff where, like, okay, you know this thing's full of material, and you go to board it, and you'll get scrap metal. And I've almost found it better to a certain degree, unless it's a very specific station. Boarding is just, unless you're trying to take a station for a reason. For example, the pirate bases that I'm always talking about, doing that. Those are great things to board. But a lot of times lately, it just seems like you get screwed on taking these stations. They never pan out for what they are worth. Alright, let's bring Helga a little closer. Of course, I didn't drop a suppressor satellite. This game always takes advantage of every time you don't do something. For example, this right here. You're thinking, you're fine, and then all of a sudden, nope. Here comes a bunch of Zotan. Well, only 3, but you get my drift, right? No, like I said, normally when I drop in on these stations or these systems, I just drop a suppressor satellite, so I don't have to deal with these guys constantly harassing me. I'm having trouble with this for some reason. This freighter. It has been trouble jumping and not salvaging everything completely. Yeah, it's almost up to 1 million Xanian. Oh, maybe there's a lot of ogonite in that thing. So we'll just have to put him on salvage duty. So I really didn't get much done today. This is going to take a while to do this, of course. What do we get for a haul on this? A little bit of everything. Metal plates, targeting stolen vehicles. It's nothing real big. And now I'm really interested in seeing what these things are going to do here for me. So this is, I should have enough here to crew. No, maybe I won't. Let's go into the, so I have armed slots of 6. So let's drop so this should put my firepower up to, oh really? I have a couple of these laying around. There we go. I mean, not enough system slots. So that's only a 8-slot ship with over 1 million. So interesting. Yeah, that's a, so it's got 1.6, no, I'm sorry, 2.84 million shields, even though in the build screen it's only showing me 711,000. So it's got the multiplier for the shields, and I'm assuming it's probably got the multiplier for the there's the, let's take those off. Laser turrets, is that all of them? Alright, so that should free up my, there we go. So we should have 51,000 here. What are we showing on the outside? Oof, 903 from one railgun. Yeah, so definitely worth it. This is just the destroyer, and it's got a pretty good sized multiplier to go from 50k to 903k. I like that. All right, so yeah, we're gonna run this some other time again as I work my way through. This is gonna be separate from the other videos I've been doing, but yeah, so we're just going to keep trying to destroy this faction little by little. So hey, thank you guys for watching. I should have another video out tonight. I'm going to talk about trading posts and whether they're worth it or not. So that kind of stuff. Matthew White says, what? You didn't, I don't know if you must not have watched my other video on this, Matthew. I have a video about these, essentially these captured ships keep their bonuses that they normally have in game. So yeah, Chi-Town, if you're listening still, if you're still watching, I'm in my Discord right now. If you have the ability, even if you don't have a mic, you can just jump in and then you can actually just stream to me, you know, stream what you're seeing, what's not working, and I'll try to help you out. So thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Chi-Town. Thanks, Jamin. Thanks, Bloody Mystery. Any guys that you guys sat here and watched me and talked and blabbled for this last hour or whatever.